Assalamualaikum everyone, I am Chaudhry. Today I am gonna share a tutorial video with you guys. I make sure that this will help you in the best of your requirements. Today through this video I gonna tell you how you can write an efficient program. Through this video you guys will be able to write a computer program. In this video we're gonna discuss about languages, compiler, interpreter, and how to plan a computer program, how to solve a problem, and finally the control structure. So what are we waiting for? Let's start our work. So there I prepared a presentation for the computer program that will be helpful for all of us. So just start it up. So what are the computer programs? So basically these are the instructions given to the computer to solve a particular problem. For example, we are writing program. We are giving instruction to the computer to do a certain task to solve a particular problem. Here next comes the some categories of computer program that are operating system, utility program, and application. Here operating system is a system that is managing all of our system, like utility programs like programs and application that are different application in our PCs. So there come next the program files. The first one is executable files. These files are part of computer program that send command to the processor. In fact, when we run a program, we are actually running the executable file. These files have an extension of .exe. The next is dynamic link library files. It is a partial .exe file. It is not run by its own. Instead, its commands are accessed by the other running programs. Having extension of DLL. Initialization files. These files contain the information such as size, starting point of window, color of background, and they have the extension of .ini file. Here comes the last file, that is batch file. So what's the batch file? It automates the repetitive task. It has extension of .bat. So there is also, we have to know what's the software, what's the hardware and code. So the software, the instruction that tells the computer what to do is called software. So the programs that are we writing are called software. Hardware, physical object that follows instruction and that can be touchable and can be seen by a person. So what's the code? The statement of a programming language. So the instructions or the statements we are writing in a program are also called code. So then next we are discussing the languages. A machine language. Machine language is a low-level language and can't be understandable by human being, and it's a machine-dependent language. Machine language is a computer program written in machine language, instruction that can be executed directly by a computer's central processing unit. Each instruction causes the CPU to perform a very specific task, such as a load, a jump, or an ALU operation on a unit of data in a CPU register or memory. So in machine languages, the instruction or the programs are not be compiled or they converted into the object. They are directly understood by the computer and can be directly run by a central processing unit. And each instruction causes the CPU to perform a very specific task. Next come the programming languages, the high-level languages. The high-level languages is a programming language such as C, Fortran, or Pascal that enables a programmer to write programs that are more or less independent of a particular type of computer. Such languages are considered as high-level because they are closer to the human languages and fall from machine languages. In control, assembly language are considered low-level language because they are very close to machine language. So there is a code you can see that is written in high-level languages in which we are going to print hello world. That it includes the library. Then in main function 8 we're gonna display hello world on the screen. So the programming languages are not machine dependent, they can be run on any type of the computer. So some of the types of high level languages are C, C++, Pascal, Java, Python, Fortran, that are much famous around. So the next we are going to discuss is compiler and interpreter. So what's the compiler? So in simple words, I can say that the compiler converts the high level language into object code and then executes it. So the program that is written in high level language is also called source code. Then it converts the source code to object code as a whole and creates .exe file. It can also be seen that the compiler converts the whole program, not line by line. After compiling the whole program, it displays syntax error and it can be executed many times. So the next thing is interpreter. So interpreter executes line by line, converts source code to object code line by line, displays syntax error on each statement. It means that we do not want to wait for that the whole program is compiled and then we get a syntax error and we came to know that it is our error. So it displays syntax error on each statement and it can be executed just at a time. Planning a computer program. So there is two basic rules for planning a computer program. Number one is IPO chart. So what's the IPO chart? It helps the programmer to write programs and it has three basic features: input, processing and output. So what's the input? Input is the instruction or the data that is given by the user to the computer and the next is processing. So what's the processing? The computation that is performed on the input or data is called processing, and then output is our desired result. So the second important tool is pseudocode. It is an informal high level description for computer program. So how programs solve problem? It's the most important things that we are discussing. How programs solve problem. Through 5 things we can solve a problem by writing program. Program control flow, flowcharts, algorithms, pseudocode, heuristics. Control flow. The flow of execution means that it executes the statement in sequence. For example, statement 1 is executed, then the control moves to the second statement executed, and so on. So what's the algorithm? The step that leads to the desired output are called algorithm. Step in the IPO chart is called algorithm. Rule for algorithm: operation not changed, effective operation and finite operation. The operation that are performed by the algorithm should not be changed, they be effective and finite operation. Basic tool for documenting algorithm is flowchart and pseudocode. So what's the flowchart? Diagrammatic representation having sequential operation used to analyze and define process, construct stepwise procedure, easily write high-level programs, find area for improvement. Mean that they are used to analyze and define a process, that what's going on. Construct a stepwise procedure. Easily write high-level programs. Through flowchart we can write easily high-level programs. and in flowcharts we are not much confused to find error. So there are some symbols for flowchart. That diamond like symbol is used for decision, and we can say that a condition, if it is the condition is true, so that statement is executed, or condition is false, so that statement is executed. And these lines that move forward, backward, upward, downward are called flow lines. And this rectangle type is called processing, and it is used for the starting or ending of a program. Pseudocode. It is an informal, high-level description of the operating principle of a computer program or an algorithm. So the next thing is heuristics. When there is no algorithm to solve problem, then the heuristic exists there. It is not much better. It is not much better, but it can be helpful. So there comes the important and the last topic of our discussion: the program control structure. Programming structure, as the name is concerned, the structure through which the program can be easy to understand, and can be easy to understand, right? So the first programming structure is sequence. What does sequence mean? Order. Defines the default control in program built into programming language. Means that the sequence structure is already built in programming language. You do not have to define that this sequence is it, and the conditions are, the statements are executing like in sequence. Execute lines in order. Selection structure, also called conditional statements, means that there is a condition. If the condition is true, the statements are executed, and if the condition is false, then no statement is executed. Execute when the condition is true or false, also called branching. So the next is repetition structure. Looping structure means it works with loops based on construction of loops. Execute statement depending on the condition. So in high level languages, when simply write, we have to print a statement again and again, then we have to write instruction again and again. But the loop can easier work. By using loop, we can stop repeating statement again and again, writing like that. So thank you for watching this video.